everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. We're here looking at a new map. This one is based off the YouTubers Sunny Farms, their farm. I'm not sure how I feel about this map, to be honest with you guys. I've been kind of all over the map. We're close to where you start out. You own basically anything that isn't farmland, and you have no equipment, which is an odd way to start a map. Let me show you. It's a 1x map. I do love the fact that they have, you know, all these pictures from their YouTube channel. I watch these guys myself, so yeah, so there's the map itself. You can see all the different fields and everything like that. But the light green is everything else that we own. So we don't own anything as far as fields go, which is a real pain in the you-know-what. I mean, we do have, because they are a beef cattle farm, we do have all these different fields that we can put them in, and they all have their own icons as far as their pastures go. So you can actually have, you know, quite a few cattle on this farm, on this map. But like I said, you don't start with anything. So let's just take a quick little flying around here. So this is where we start, and yes, there is a tractor there, but it's what I bought so we can kind of drive around a little bit. My understanding is these, if I remember correctly, are the selling points, because we don't actually have any other silos. So it's a selling point from what I can tell, just kind of what I remember from the description. And yeah, all these green fields are fields where we can put cattle into, or most of them. This is the auction house. So haven't quite figured out where I need to go to purchase our cattle. And there's quite a few people, quote people, NCPs or NPCs, wow, that pop up that you can communicate with them, but you really can't. I don't know why it pops up for all of them, but it does. The other thing I'm a little surprised by is there's no actual home here. So I think if I remember correctly, on this spot there is a house here, but we don't have it here on the map. So I feel like there are some things that are kind of half-assed on this map. And there's also spots like where the different roads and such line up that they don't look the greatest. So I do greatly appreciate the fact that someone has taken the time to do this and tried to get things set up, because it's more than what I can do. I still feel like this is kind of an unfinished version, and that's just my opinion. Also play a little bit on this. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. I'll probably at the very least try to see if I can get a better idea of their setup by watching their videos again and seeing where I can actually put a home that is relatively close. But I feel like should be a home right about here. So yeah, they don't really go, you know, show off their home very much, but I can make it work. You see all these different areas. I don't know why it's set up like concrete, because it should just be dirt. I guess it is stone and whatnot. But yeah, this is kind of where they have a lot of their cattle stored at. Stored sounds like a bad thing, but it really isn't. It's just a maze of gates and everything else in here, which obviously, given what it is and why it's set up the way it is, it's not a surprise. So Oop, how about we turn that off? There we go. So yeah, we do have plenty of spots. I even, did things like this to make sure, your cattle won't get through there. But plenty of water buckets and everything like that. Let's tab back over here. If you guys haven't bought this year 2 season pass, this is part of it. Or you can buy it separately for like $3 or $4. I don't remember. It's the world's fastest tractor. That's why it looks the way it does. It does have a regular trailer hitch back here somewhere, or my understanding is it does. So that's probably where that cover is anyway, or the parachute, technically, from when it did its trial run. I'm assuming that's what that is. But if I remember, the description did say that you can use this with trailers. So this thing is currently set up to hit 153 miles an hour in game. But yeah, you can kind of just, if you're looking carefully at everything, that's why I feel like this was kind of half-assed just to get it out there. Which I do, like I said, I do appreciate. The location of most everything feels decent, but at the same time, I know that they do have grain silos on their farm, so that way they can, take care of their animals, feed them. So we may look into doing that as well. And downside with this is very quick to fishtail. I mean, look at the inside of this thing. Got a fire extinguisher there, roll cage. That ain't no normal side panel for a tractor. And it does shift gears, nice. We have plenty of areas for manure and silage making. So that is nice. Looks like we also have a few sunshade, wind protector things in that particular spot. So it'll be interesting to see what I can figure out what to do. I know I'll have a little bit of time, but I'll try to make a better effort with this particular one. Like I said, I may end up just buying every single plot on this map just so we can work on getting things ready, and I'm not having to cheat things in. But at the same time, if I run short on time, then I'll cheat things in just so we can get the ball rolling on different things. So, like I said, this is the most exciting area here, is where they have the cattle pens. They even have their relatively new sorter sitting over here. So we can even do the Highland cattle here. I think they do mostly Black Angus, if I'm not correct, and if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, if I'm not correct. Yeah, something like that. But who knows? Maybe we'll just make them all be Highland cattle. No, it wouldn't work right, because we need to make sure that we kind of keep it beef. So I think we'll keep it at Black Angus. But I do love the fact that they had this set up, because they recently, well, I feel like recently, but it wasn't really recently, got this updated with this corral system here. So that way they can either load straight up into a truck, or they can release them off into a field or down there. So definitely a new, unique piece of equipment. Do I? No, I don't. I was just say, do I own that? No, of course I don't. Of course everything needs plowed. Why wouldn't it? Of course everything is ready to harvest. Why wouldn't it be? Ooh, what's the hefty soybeans? What in the world? Pioneer corn, Pioneer soybean, Pioneer wheat, which doesn't look like we have any field in that. There's some rye, silage corn. Man, okay, there's some wheat there. All right, so they got that. Nothing there. I'm curious as to what we actually have on this map. Starting off, at least for me, could be different from you. I don't know how they have it set up, but yeah. You know, I almost wasn't going to. Okay, and that's alfalfa in those 3 fields. Nothing in clover. Of course, cover crop mix. I like seeing that cover crop mix on these maps. That's the collard corn. Forget what I was going to say. All right. So it looks like we have silage corn, rye, Pioneer soybeans, Pioneer corn, hefty soybeans, hefty corn, DeKalb corn. So like 43 different corns. So no, 4. Silage corn, Pioneer corn, hefty corn, DeKalb corn, and alfalfa and wheat are what it starts off with. So I think we're just going to go ahead and buy every field because, I mean, might as well at this point. That way we can do our harvests, do what we need to with each. You know, anything that's we can do into silage, we will. I'm going to have to build probably quite a few silos or one massive silo system. I don't know how I want to do it. If I want to stay true to their farm, I'll do the individual flat bin bottom silos and go that route. Let's see here. What's their crop calendar look like? Wow, alfalfa can be planted just about any time. Clover, cover crop mix. That sounds about right. Field grass. Forage rye can be planted anytime. Wow. Triticale. Green oats. Never heard of green oats. Of course, oilseed radish. Pioneer alpha can be. I'm not going to worry about that. The poplar. That's one that can do March through August. And they even have winter options. Winter barley, winter peas, winter wheat. They can only be planted in November and only be harvested in April. Okay. I do like that. I like that as an option as well. Plus we have our ones that just our normal ones that we can, like if you do winter wheat, you can turn around in April after you harvest it and plant one of these corns. Nice change. I like seeing the winter options for some of these. Gives you a better option than just a cover crop. So, like oilseed radish. And I kind of wish things like that and the, the cover crop mix, I wish were more readily available on all maps. But and that's just because it's, in my opinion, it's better looking than just your regular oilseed radish. Because it is a cover crop mix, you see a lot more variety in that. We do have quite a few pastures. Across the road, extra large, large, side, back, mini pen, back lot, main lot, farm shop, bunk line, east pasture, west pasture, and back around. So obviously, as you can tell, nothing. Okay, that's just funny. I forgot that it mentioned that a lot of these are contracts are set up to be either from them or coal. from Brian or Cole, or just the farm in general. And of course, you still have your Grandpa Sonny, and young Jeff. And yeah, when you come across these guys on the map, they do look just like the NPCs. But the fact that they got it set up that way is hilarious. It's a nice change of pace though to see, something like this, other than the usual NPCs that we get. So as far as what we own, the Dakota provisions. So 1 beef in, 2,000 common cuts out. All right. So looks like we can do common cuts, ground beef, sunny beef, and veal. What is this Poet Productions? Oh, okay. Cornmeal, mineral feed, cracked corn, dry corn. Hefty corn goes into dry corn. Okay. It says that, and obviously dry corn, or corn goes into that. Earlage? Never heard of earlage. Looks like it's the full corn cob, from what I can tell. I can't zoom in on that very well, so I'm not sure on that. Well, I guess it does make TMR. More feed. Peas in a dry, that makes sense. Toasted beans, huh? Got a couple options. Oh, you lose it a little bit when you do 100x Pioneer soybeans, you get 99x soybeans. I guess that makes sense because you're drying them out. This is a unique shop. And of course, nothing else available. So you already own the 2 production chains that the map starts with. You got everything listed as usual in here. And of course, the vehicles that I own, it's just the JCB, world's fastest tractor. But yeah, if you purchase the Season 2 pass, or whatever it's called, Year 2 Season Pass, something like that, you'll be able to get that tractor as well. I know it's also available on Steam for like $3 or $4, I think. Of course, I don't know if I'm going to keep this, but this would be a very unique Christ. I'm having such a brain fart. Auger wagon tractor. So, if it's supposed to be the world's fastest tractor, let's put an auger wagon onto it and see how fast it really goes then. But with the way this tail end is, that may not be a good thing because you may be having to fix that rather quickly. So I'm going to see what I can do with this. In the meantime, guys, as always, if you happen to like what you see, if you catch yourself watching more than one of my videos, please do us both a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. The bell will let you know if you notified of every single video I post in, not just select few here and there. If you made this far in the video, I want to say thank you, and I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, as well as Thanksgiving week that's coming up, or that's here. Time travel is difficult sometimes. Anyway, guys, we'll catch you next episode. Take care. Peace.